Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Let's start. So, we are starting our lesson, Suratul Baqarah, Faham al Quran, from ayah number 240 onwards. Let's see how much we'll cover today, inshallah. So, let's start. And ayahs are about muta, gift at the time of divorce. And in one of the ayahs, there is a story of the dead people of a village, Dwardan, which is in Iraq. So, we'll start, inshallah. अस्सलाम वालेकुम वरहमतुल्लाहि वबरकातुहू नहमदुहु व नुसल्ली अला रसूलिल करीम अम्मा बाद फ़अऊज़ु बिल्लाहि मिनश शैतानिर रजीम बिस्मिल्लाहिर रहमानिर रहीम रब्बी इश्रह ली सदरी व यस्सिर ली अमरी वहलुल उक़दतम मिन लिसानी यफ़क़हू क़ौली रब्बी ज़िदना इल्मा रब्बी ज़िदना इल्मा रब्बी ज़िदना इल्मा अल्लाहुम्मा इहदी क़ल्बी वसद्दिद लिसानी वस्लुल सक़ीमत क़ल्बी आमीन या रब्बल आलमीन. Suratul Baqarah, inshallah, from ayat number 240. First we will do word to word translation, inshallah, of ayat number 240. Were and alladhina, those who, yatawaffawna, those who they are recalled, fully die, minkum, from among you all, wa yazaruna, wa and yazaruna, they leave, azwajan, spouses, wives. Okay, first we listen to the recitation and then start what translation, inshallah. Inshallah. Okay, but to a translation first. Were and alladhina, those who yutawaffawna, they are recalled, fully die, minkum, from among you all, were and yazaruna, they leave, azwajan, spouses, wives. Azwajan is the plural of zawj, zai, waw, jim. Wasiyatan, a will, a bequest. Li azwajihim, li for azwaj, spouses, wife, him, their. So this is the plural of zoj, zai, waw, jim. Li azwajihim, for their spouses, wives. Mataan, a benefit. Ila, to, till. Al-hawli, the year. Ghaira, other than. Besides, without. Ikhrajin, turning out, expelling. Fa'in, for, so, in, if. Kharajna, they women go out. They women go out. Fala, for then. La, not. Junaha, any sin, harm, blame. Alaykum, Allah, upon. Kum, you all. Alaykum, is upon you all. Fi, in. Ma, what. Fa'alna, fa'ala, did. Na, they. Fa'alna, they did. Now you understand, right? When there is noon, it is for female. Fi, in, concerning. Anfusihinna. Anfus is the plural of nafs. Root word is noon, fa, sin, nafs. Anfus is the plural of nafs. Hinna, them. Anfusihinna, themselves. Nafs is soul, selves, and na, them. Hinna, them. Anfusihinna, themselves. Min, from. Marufin, a manner, way. Approved, recognized, accepted. Wallahu, were and Allah. Allah, Azizun, is always almighty. the attribute of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are 99 attributes, names of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Okay, Hakimun, and always all wise. So running translation. And those of you who died and leave behind wives should bequeath, should write a will for their wives, a year's maintenance and residence without turning them out. But if their wives leave, there is no sin on you for that which they do of themselves, provided it is honorable, example, lawful marriage, and Allah is Almighty, all wise. Wallahu Azizun Hakim. So we see the tafsir. So this ayah number 240 of Surah Al-Baqarah was abrogated. And I remember you all have done great details in the, about the abrogated ayahs when we used to do at Hiba's place, Uzma auntie's place, everybody remember? So the majority of the scholars said that this ayah, Surah Al-Baqarah 240, was abrogated by the ayah Surah Al-Baqarah 234. What Allah said in 234? Yatarabbasna bi'anfusihinna, they, the wives, shall wait as regards their marriage. Arba'ata ashurin wa ashra. Arba is 4, ashurin is months, plural of shahar, and ashra is 10. For 4 months and 10 days. Again, I will repeat if you have a notebook. Arba'ata is 4. Ashurin is the plural of shahar. Shahar means month. Shahar 1 month. Ashurin months. Wa ashra is 10. So the waiting period is for the widow is for 4 months and 10 days. So it was abrogated. This ayah which we are reading, it was abrogated. 240 was abrogated by 234. For instance, Al-Bukhari reported that Ibn Az-Zubayr said, I said to Uthman bin Affan. Now, Uthman bin Affan was the third caliph. When Prophet ﷺ died, the first caliph was Abu Bakr Siddiq radiallahu anhu. When he died, then the second caliph was Umar radiallahu anhu. When he also died, and the third caliph was Usman bin Affan. Okay, and in the era of Usman bin Affan, the Quran was compiled, right? Because before, everybody knows that it was written on the leaves, on the the stem of the trees, on the stone. So at the time of, in the reign of Uthman bin Affan, the third caliph, the Quran was compiled. And the fourth caliph was Hazrat Ali radiallahu anhu. So for instance, Al-Bukhari reported that Ibn Zubair said, I said to Usman bin Affan, who was the third caliph at that time, what he said, وَالَّذِينَ يُتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا, and those of you who die and leave wives behind them was abrogated by other ayah 234. Therefore, why did you collect it? Meaning in the Quran. Who said? Ibn Az-Zubayr said to Usman bin Affan that now you are compiling the Quran. When this ayah 240 is abrogated, so why you are collecting it in the Quran? Okay. So now what is the reply of Usman bin Affan? He said, "Oh nephew, I shall not change any part of the Quran from its place." And it's a way of talking, right? When you call somebody uncle, what the uncle will tell you? Niece, or some boy say, "Oh uncle," so the uncle will say, "Oh my nephew," right? Okay. The question that Ibn Zubair asked Uthman means, if the ruling of the ayah Surah Al-Baqarah 240 was abrogated to 4 months, the iddah of the widow, and refer to 234, then what is the wisdom behind including it in the Quran, although its ruling has been abrogated? So if the ayah 240 remains in the Quran after the ayah that abrogated is 234, this might imply that its ruling is still valid. So Usman radiallahu anhu, the leader of the faithful, he was the third caliph, answered Ibn Zubair. He answered Ibn Zubair by stating that this is a matter of the revelation which mentioned these ayah in this order. Therefore, I shall leave the ayah where I found it in the Quran. So he said, whether no matter it's abrogated, I will leave it in the Quran where I found it in the Quran, because Prophet Sassam told them where to, at the time when the Prophet Sassam was alive, when the ayahs used to reveal, and he used to tell the scribers, the writers of the Wahi, the companions, that put this ayah in that surah, this place, okay. Prophet Sassam, by the Wahi, Allah guided Prophet Sassam that where such and such ayah will be fixed. So it was done by Prophet Sassam, right? So now Usman radiallahu anhu says that I am going to keep it as it is revealed, and I will leave the ayah where I found it in the Quran, So see how they were, concerned about the ayahs and about the revelation. They kept it as Prophet Sassam told them, or no matter they compiled it, but they kept it where the ayahs were in the Quran, the way Prophet Sassam told them to keep in such and such surah, such place, okay. So they did in the same way. So La Raiba Fi, the Alif Lam Mim, Dhalikal Kitabu, La Raiba Fi, this is the book, there is no doubt in it. So there shouldn't be any doubt. So, and Allah said that Inna Lahu Lahafizun, I will, take care of Quran, nothing would be changed. Other books we have seen they are changed. Torah, Zubur, Injil, everything is changed, but Allah has, told in the Quran, Inna Lahu Lahafizun, Allah will take care of the Quran, nothing would be changed, right? Okay. Ibn Abu Hatim reported that Ibn Abbas said about what Allah said, وَالَّذِينَ يُتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا وَصِيَّةً لِأَزْوَاجِهِمْ مَتَاعًا إِلَى الْحَوْلِ غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ, and those of you who die, وَالَّذِينَ يُتَوَفَّوْنَ مِنْكُمْ, and those of you who die, وَيَذَرُونَ أَزْوَاجًا, and leave behind wives, وَصِيَّةً لِأَزْوَاجِهِمْ, should bequeath to their wives what they bequeath, ilal hawli, a year's maintenance and residence, ghaira ikhrajin, without turning them out. Now this was abrogated, okay. The widow used to reside and have her provisions provided for her for a year in her deceased husband's house. Later, the ayah that specified the inheritance, chapter number 4, ayah number 12, abrogated this ayah 240, and thus the widow inherits 1/4 or 1/8 of what her deceased husband leaves behind. We'll learn when she will get 1/8 of the inheritance, and when she'll get 1/4. Okay, the tafsir is coming. So Ibn Abu Hatim also related that Ibn Ali bin Abu Talha stated that Ibn Abbas said, when a man died and left behind a widow, she used to remain in his house for a year for a idda. Idda is the waiting period. Everybody knows 4 months and 10 days. All the while receiving her provisions during this time. Thereafter, Allah revealed this ayah, which is our lesson today. And those of you who die and leave wives behind them, the wife shall wait as regards their marriage for 4 months and 10 days. Now there was a question from Hiba. I think that men can get married, but why for women is the idda waiting period 4 months and 10 days? Because this was our last lesson also. So because 4 months and 10 days, she has to wait. During this period, if she is pregnant, she also comes to know, because for 4 months and 10 days, what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sends Jibreel alayhi salam, and Jibreel alayhi salam put ruh, soul, spirit in the fetus. Okay, so the mother comes to know, she feels some movement, she comes to know that it is certain. Before also the woman comes to know when she gets pregnant, few days after pregnancy, but this is sure that because movement also begins, right, when the soul, once the soul spirit is put. So everybody comes to know that she is married, she is pregnant, okay. And when she gets married also, after the delivery of the child, or so people know, the tribe or the family, they know that he is the child of the deceased husband, okay. So everybody comes to know, which is why 4 months and 10 days. And when if the woman is pregnant, and her idda period when the child is born. No matter here the husband die and the next moment she delivers the child, so her waiting period is finished, right, at the birth of the child, because now people know he or she is the child is the whose child it is, the deceased husband. Okay, so this is the idda of the widow unless she was pregnant. For her idda then ends when she gives birth. Allah also said, "Walahunna arba'u mimma taraktum," in that which you leave your wives. Share is a fourth, or if you have a child. In lam yakun waladun, if you have a child. If you have a child, she will get 1/4 of the property. Fain kana lakum waladun, but if you have leave a child, they falahunna thumunu mimma taraktum, they get an eighth of that which you leave. In that which you leave, there your wife's share is fourth if you leave no child. But if you leave a child, then get an eighth of that which you leave. So we come to know, then if there is a child, if there is no child, she'll get 1/4. If there is a child, she will get 1/8. So Allah specified the share of the widow in the inheritance, and there was no need for the will or the nafaka maintenance which were mentioned in ayah 240, because now she's getting the share. So that is abrogated, right? Ayah 240 is abrogated, that she will live 1 year in the house of the husband with the in-laws or whatsoever. But now this is abrogated by this ayah, that she'll get 1/4 if no child of the inheritance, and if there's a child, she'll get 1/8. So Ibn Abu Hatim stated, so and so, all the commentators and all the Mufassirin of the Quran, they say it was abrogated by Arbata Ashurin wa Ashra, 4 months and 10 days. So that was abrogated by 4 months and 10 days. So in Bukhari, we learn that Mujahid said, "Wallazina yutawaffawna minkum wa yazuruna." Now, different, commentators telling about this ayah. "Wallazina yutawaffawna minkum wa yazuruna azwaja," and those of you who die and leave wives behind them, used to be the idda, and the widow had to remain with her deceased husband's family during that period. That is 4 months and 10 days. Then Allah revealed this ayah which we are reciting, "Wallazina yutawaffawna minkum wa yazaruna azwajan wasiyatan li azwajim matan ila al-hawli ghayra ikhrajin fa in kharajna fala junaha alaykum fima fa'alna fi anfusihinna mim ma'ruf." And those of you who die and leave behind wives should bequeath for their wives a year's maintenance and residence without turning them out. If their wives leave, there is no sin on you for that which they do of themselves, provided if it is honorable, example, lawful marriage. So Allah made the rest of the year, which is 7 months and 20 days, as a will and testament for her. Consequently, if she wants, she could use her right in this will and remain in the residence for the rest of the year. Or if she wants, she could leave the deceased husband's house after the 4 months and 10 days have passed. This is the meaning of what Allah said, غَيْرَ إِخْرَاجٍ فَإِنْ خَرَجْنَا فَلَا جُنَاحَ عَلَيْكُمْ, without turning them out, but if their wives leave, there is no sin on you. Therefore, the required term of iddah, the waiting period, is still unchanged, referring to ayah Surah Al-Baqarah 234. Okay, so Ata quoted Ibn Abbas, this ayah 240 has abrogated the requirement that the widow spends the iddah with that is her deceased husband's family. So she spends her iddah wherever she wants. This is the meaning of Allah said, "Ghayra ikhrajin," without turning them out. Ata also said, if she wants, she spends the iddah with his family and resides there according to the will, meaning the rest of the year. If she wants, she is allowed to leave, for Allah said, "Fala junaha alaykum fima fa'alna," there is no sin on you for that which they do of themselves. If she leaves also, then there is no sin on her, because another ayah came and that was abrogated. Ata then said, then the ayah on the inheritance referred to chapter 4 verse 12 came and abrogated the residence. Hence the widow spends her iddah waiting period 4 months 10 days wherever she wants, and does not have the right to reside anymore in the husband's house. She can stay there, she can leave. Okay. The statement of Fatah and those who held the view that the ayah 240 was abrogated by the ayah on the inheritance, chapter 4, ayah 12, is only valid for more than the 4 months and 10 days required in ayah 234. However, if they mean that the 4 months and 10 days are not required from the deceased husband's state, then this opinion is the subject of the disagreement among the scholars. As proof, they said that the widow is required to remain in her deceased husband's house for 4 months and 10 days, according to what Malik reported from Zainab bint Ka'ab bin Ujra. She said that Faria bint Malik bin Sinan, the sister of Abu Sa'id al-Khudri, told her that she came to Allah's Messenger asking him to return to her family's residence with Banu Khudra. Her husband had pursued some of his servants who ran away. Okay. But when he reached the area of Al-Qadum, they killed him. She said, so I asked, because her husband was killed, so she asked Prophet ﷺ if I should stay with my family in Banu Khudra, for my deceased husband did not leave me a residence that he owns of nafaka, maintenance. The husband didn't leave any residence. So she asked Prophet ﷺ. So Prophet ﷺ answered in the positive that stay there. Well, I was in the room. Prophet ﷺ summoned me, or had someone summoned me and said, what Prophet said, what did you say? I repeated the story to him about my deceased husband, that there is no home, nothing. So he said, Imkusi fi baitika hatta yablughal kitabu ajalu, stay at your home until the term reaches its end, meaning 4 months, 10 days. So I remained through the idda term for 4 months and 10 days in my deceased husband's house. Thereafter, Uthman bin Affan, the third caliph, sent for me during his reign and asked me about this matter. And I told him what happened. Actually, what happened? The same case happened with some other woman. So Uthman bin Affan asked this Sahabiya. So she said that I told him that what happened. He made a judgment to the same effect, because she knew and she didn't practically. Prophet Sassam told her to stay at the husband's place. So she told the same thing to Usman bin Affan. So Usman bin Affan made a judgment to the same effect. Now from here we learn that they used to ask each other. They used to confirm. Sahaba and Sahabiya, the companions of Prophet Sallallahu, all the women and men, they used to confirm from each other that what Prophet Sallallahu told about such and such matter. So here is the case here. Usman bin Affan asking this Sahabiya. This hadith was also collected by Abu Dawud, At-Tirmidhi, so and so hadith book. Okay. So now ayah 241. Walil mutallaqati, were and li for al mutallaqati, the ones women divorce, mataun, a benefit, bil maruf, in be is with, okay, be in with, al maruf, the manner, way, approve, recognize, bil marufi, in with the manner, way, approve, recognize, haqqan, a definite haqq, duty, Allah, upon al muttaqeen, those who safeguard themselves, adopt taqwa, Allah consciousness. So we see the okay, running translation. Reasonable provisions must also be made for provide for divorced women. That is an obligation upon those who fear Allah. So the necessity of the muta gift at the time of divorce, Allah said, walil mutallaqati, and for divorced women. See again here the end is ending, walil mutallaqati is ending with ta. It means it's talking about women. Walil mutallaqati, and for divorced women, mata'un bil maruf, maintenance should be provided on a reasonable scale. Haqqan, mata'un bil maruf haqqan, haqqan, this is a duty on whom? Alal muttaqeen, on all muttaqeen, the pious. Walil mutallaqati mataun bil maruf haqqan alal muttaqeen, and for divorced women, maintenance should be provided on reasonable scale. This is a duty on all muttaqeen, the pious. Abdul Rahman bin Zaid bin Aslam said that when Allah's statement matam bil marufi haqqan alal muhsinin, a gift of reasonable amount is a duty on the doers of good, was revealed, a man said, if I want, I will be excellent, and if I do not, I will not. Therefore, Allah revealed this ayah because He said, I will not. Walil mutallaqati matam bil maruf haqqan alal muttaqin. It is haqq. And for divorced women, maintenance should be provided on reasonable scale. This is a duty on al-muttaqin, the pious. The scholars who rule that the muta, reasonable gift at the time of divorce, is required for every divorced woman, whether she had a bridal money appointed for her or not, because before marriage, the meher is fixed, right? That it will be $1,000, that it will be $5,000, whatever. So, and whether the marriage was consummated or not, relied on this ayah 241 when they issue their ruling. This is the view taken on this subject by Sayyid bin Jubair and several others among the Salaf and also Ibn Jabir. Hence, Allah's statement. Last time also we learned that whether the marriage is consummated or not, whether the meher, the amount is fixed or not, if she is being divorced, the husband is going to give her the mahar, the muta, he's going to give her. La junaha alaykum in talaqtumun nisa. There is no sin if you divorce women. Malam tamassuhunna, while yet you have not touched, had sexual relations with them. Aw tafridu lahunna faridatun, nor appointed for them their dowry. Wamattiuhunna alal musi, but bestow on them a suitable gift, the rich according to his means. Alal musi qadrahu wa alal muqtiri qadaruhu, and the poor according to his means. Mata'am bil maruf, a gift of reasonable amount. Haqqan is a duty. Alal musinin, on the doers of good. So only ayat 236 only mentions some specifics of this general ruling. I'll read the translation again. There is no sin on you if you divorce women while yet you have not touched, meaning had sexual relation with them, nor appointed for them their due dowry, but bestow on them a suitable gift, the rich according to his means. So the one who is rich, he will give them the woman he is divorcing according to his means, and the poor according to his means. A gift of reasonable amount is a duty, is a haq on the doers of good. So only mention some specifics of this general ruling. Then Allah said, another ayah will do inshallah. Kazalika, what to a translation, ayah 42. Kazalika, thus likewise, yubayyinu, he explains explicitly, clearly, Allah, lakum, love for kum, you all, ayatihi, ayat is the plural of ayatun, he is pronoun, ayatihi, his ayat, signs, verses, la'alla, so that, kum, you all, la'allakum, so that you all, taqilun, taqilun, you all use intellect, is from aqal. Ain qaf lam is aqal. Root word is aqal. Ain qaf lam, intellect. You all use intellect, understand, rationalize. So the running translation, thus kazalika yubayyinullah, thus Allah makes clear his ayah, laws to you, meaning what he allows, forbids, requires. So what Allah is making clear in the Quran, meaning what he has allowed, what he has forbids, what he requires us to do from us, his set and his limits, his sets limits, his commandments and his prohibitions are all explained and made plain and clear for you in this Quran, subhanallah. He did not leave any matter in general terms if you needed the specifics. La'allakum taqilun, in order that you may understand, meaning understand and comprehend. So we understand and we should comprehend. I like this ayah. Kazalika yubayyinullahu lakum ayati la'allakum taqilun. Everything is there. What he's allowing us, what Allah is forbidding us in the Quran, what he requires from us. He has set all the limits. His commandments are there. His prohibitions are there. Everything is explained clearly. Allah has explained everything. He has created us. So he has given this book of Hidayah, a book of guidance to us, and which is why you are, learning all even divorce, marriages, everything, maher, gift, dowry, everything we are learning. Allah has guided us in all walks of life, mashallah, alhamdulillah. So we should be thankful Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that we are Muslim, alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah. Okay, now we'll do ayat 243. Alam, did, lam, not, tara, ta, you, ra, si, tara. See, every alphabet has the meaning. See how this Arabic language is. Tara, you see, which is why Allah has chosen Arabic language for the Quran. Alam, did not, tara, you see, ila, towards, al-lazina, those who, kharaju, they went out, min, from, diyarihim, their homes. Diyar is the plural of dar. Oh, dar is one home and diyar is plural. Darun is one home. Diyarihim, their homes, were and whom they, ulufun, they were thousands. Okay, ulufun is the plural of alfun, alif, lam, fa, alfun, alf. Uluf is the plural of alf. Alf means 1000 and uluf several, it's a plural. Are, were, thousands. Hazara, due to caution, fear, al-mauti, of the death. Faqala, so qala, he said, lahum, la, to, for whom, them, lahum, to, for them, Allahu, Allah, mutu, you all die, thumma, then, after a while, ahyahum, ahya, he gave life, hum, to them, ahyahum, he gave life to them, inna, indeed, Allah, Allah, lazu, la, surely, du, possessor, lazu, is surely possessor, fadlin, of fadl, bounty, grace, Allah, upon, annas, the mankind, the people, were, and, lakinna, but, akthara, most, annasi, of the mankind, people, la, do not, yashkurun, they give thanks, they are grateful. So now we'll do the running translation. Did you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not think of those who went forth from their homes in the thousands, fearing death? Allah said to them, die, and then He restored them to life. Truly, Allah is full of bounty to mankind, but most of them thank not. So this is ayah 243, tafsir, the story of the people, the story of the dead people. Ibn Abu Hatim related that Ibn Abbas said that these people mentioned herein were the residents of a village, okay, and the name of the village was Dawardan, and it was in Iraq. Ali ibn Asim said that they were from Dawardan, a village several miles away from Wasit in Iraq. So they were the people. This is the story about the people who used to live in the village called Dawardan, and Dawardan was 7 miles away. It was from Wasit and it was seven miles away in Iraq. So in his tafsir, Waqi ibn Jarrah said that Ibn Abbas commented, Alam tara ilal ladina, did you, O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, not think of those who kharaju min diyarihim, who went forth from their homes, wahum ulufun, in thousands, hazar al maut, fearing that they were 4,000 persons who escaped the plague that broke out in their land. They said, we should go to a land that is free of death. When they reached a certain area, now this is the story about the people of a village, and then actually the plague broke, there was a plague in their place, so the plague broke in that land. So they said that we should go to a land that is free of death. They were scared that now the plague has broken, so what will happen? We will die. So out of the hazar al maut, from the fear of death, they said, let's leave this land and go to the land which is free of death. So when they reached a certain area, they left the village. The Wardan, this tribe, they left the village and they reached to a certain place. Allah said to them, Mutu, die. They all died. When Allah says kun, fayakun, Allah says be, and it becomes, right? It's fayakun, become. So Allah said die. And they all died. Afterwards, one of the prophets passed by them and supplicated to Allah to resurrect them, and Allah brought them back to life. So Allah stated, did you, O Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, not think of those who went forth from their homes in thousands, fearing death? Furthermore, several scholars among the Salaf said that though these people were the residents of a city during the time of the children of Israel, the weather in their land did not suit them, and an epidemic broke out. They fled their land, fearing death, and took refuge in the wilderness. They later arrived at a fertile valley, and they filled what is between its two sides. Everybody knows a valley is a lowland between the hills, right? It's a lowland in the hills. So they later arrived at a fertile valley, and they filled what is between its two sides. Then Allah sent two angels to them, one from the lower side and the other from the upper side of the valley. The angels screamed once, and all the people died instantly. And in many some other ayahs also there in the Quran, that when Allah's torment punishment came, it can come by the screaming of the angels also. So the angels screamed once, and all the people died instantly, just as the death of one man. They were later moved to a different place where walls and graves were built around them. They all perished, and their bodies rotted. And everybody knows when we die, what happened? Our bodies get rot, right? Um, their bodies rotted and disintegrated. Long afterwards, one of the prophets of the children of Israel, whose name was Ezekiel, passed by them and asked Allah to bring them back to life by his hand. Allah accepted his dua, his supplication of that prophet Ezekiel, and commanded him to say, O rotted bones, rotted bones, Allah commands you to come together. The bones of everybody were brought together, and then commanded him to say, O bones. Allah commanded whom? Allah commanded Prophet Ezekiel. So he said, O bones, Allah command you to be covered with flesh, nerves, and skin. That also happened while Ezekiel was watching. Allah then commanded him to say, O souls, Allah commands you to return each to the body that is used to inhabit. They all came back to life, looked around, and proclaimed what they proclaimed. They exalted Allah. All praise is due to you, O Allah, Subhanallah, and there is no deity worthy of worship except you. Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. Allah brought them back to life after they had perished long ago. So this was the story. So we should state that bringing these people back to life is a clear proof that physical resurrection shall occur on the day of resurrection. So from this instance, what the Mufassirin, what the commentators of the Quran says, that this is the proof, this is the clear proof that physical resurrection shall occur on the day of resurrection. We will die, a trumpet will be blown, we all will die, and another trumpet will be blown. Israel alayhi salam, angel Israel will blow, and we will be resurrected on the day of resurrection. This is why Allah said, so we should have a belief in that, Balbasi Badal Maut, that we will be resurrected after our death. We should state that, okay, Inna Allah ladu fadlin ala nas, truly Allah is full of bounty to mankind, meaning is that he shows them his great signs, sound proofs, and clear evidence, except yet. So these are the clear evidences that even by screaming of an angel, punishment comes, azab comes, torment comes. Walakinna aksar nasi la yashkuru. Walakinna, but aksara, most men, aksar nas, most men, la yashkurun, thank not. So they do not thank Allah for what He has given them within their worldly life and religious affair. Inna Allah lazu fadlin ala nas. Truly Allah is full of bounty, and mankind Allah has bestowed us with many bounties, and His fadl is great. But many of them, they don't thank Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are not grateful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Walakinna akthar nasi la yashkurun. But most men thank not, and it is the fact. Most of the people, they don't thank Allah. They are not grateful for Allah. What we do, We complain what we don't have. I don't have this, my friend has got this shoe, that type of house, a big garden, good stationery, good clothes, branded clothes, this, that. I don't have this. But we never thank for the bounties and for the blessings which Allah has given us. We are, most of, not all of us, most of people, Allah says, "Ya aksar nas," most of the mankind, they are not thankful to Allah. We just, most of the mankind complain for what we don't have, but we never see that some other things which have, which others don't have. There are many things others don't have which we have. So we should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The story of the dead people in this ayah 244 above also indicates that no caution can ever avert destiny, and that there is no refuge from Allah but to Allah Himself. So we should have belief in the destiny also. Amantu bi imani mufassal, amantu billahi wa malaikat, amantu billahi, I believe in Allah, wa malaikatihi, in His angels, wa kutubihi. Kutub is the plural of kitab, wa kutubihi, in His books, because there are many books other than Quran, Torah, Zabur, Injil, but this is the last book now. So we have to believe in Quran now, no other books, wa kutubi. But we believe that Allah sent, we have belief in those books, right? But we are going to follow Quran, okay? Because Allah revealed these books, so we believe in His books. Wa rusulihi, Rusul is the plural of Rasul, and His messengers. Wal yawmil akhiri, in the last day, day of judgment. Wal qadri, now here, destiny. Wal qadri, and in destiny. Khairi, that everything good, khair is good, wa sharri, or bad, is decided min Allah Ta'ala, is decided by Allah. Wal basi ba'd al maut, is decided by Allah the Almighty, and there is no translation over here. Wal basi ba'd al maut, that I believe, my faith is that I will be resurrected after my death. Okay, I'll add here inshallah this translation also. Wal basi ba'd al maut, and resurrecting after the death. So our belief should be in destiny. Wal qadri khairi wa sharri min Allah Ta'ala, that and in the destiny, that everything bad, good or bad, is decided by Allah. So this ayah also indicates that no caution can ever destiny, and that there is no refuge from Allah but to Allah Himself. These people departed from their land, fleeing the epidemic, because there was epidemic in their land. So they flee that land because there was epidemic, and seeking to enjoy a long life. Then what happened? What they earned was the opposite of what they sought. They thought they will save themselves in this epidemic in their land, they will die. So from the khawf, from the fear of maut, from the fear of death, they leave their land, and they went to the other land. So what happened? What they earned was the opposite of what they sought, as death came quickly and instantaneously and seized them all. While they were on the way, death came to them. There is an authentic hadith that Imam Ahmad reported, that Abdullah bin Abbas said that Umar bin al-Khattab once went to Asham. Now there is another incident about Umar bin al-Khattab. Umar bin al-Khattab was the second caliph. First caliph after Prophet Abu Bakr Siddiq. Second caliph was Umar bin al-Khattab. So this is the story at the time. The incidents happened at the time of Umar bin al-Khattab. So Hazrat Umar radiallahu anhu once went to Asham, Syria, right? When he reached the area of Sarq, there's a place in Syria called Sarq. Near Syria, he was met by the commanders of the army, Abu Ubaidah bin Jarrah and his companions. They told him that the plague had broken out in Asham, because he was going to Sham, Umar bin Khattab, with his companions. The hadith then mentioned that Abdul Rahman bin Auf, who was away attending to some of his affairs. So when this talk was going on, Abdul Rahman bin Auf was away. So when he came and said, I have knowledge regarding this matter. I heard Allah's messenger say, what Prophet said about where there is a plague, that say, Iskana baridun wa antum biha, if it is plague breaks out in the land that you are in, Fala takhruju, do not leave. Firaram minhu, do not leave that land to escape from it. There shouldn't be firar. There shouldn't be escape. Okay. Vaiza sametum bihi bi ardin, and if you hear about it in a land, fala taqdimu alayhi, do not enter it. So this is the hadith. There, whenever the plague breaks out in the land you live, do not escape that land. Do not leave. Do not flee from your land if there is a plague, because if you leave there, you will and go to the other place, you will, people, you will take the plague with you to the other land. If you hear about it in a land, do not enter it. Like if you want to go somewhere and you hear there is a plague, epidemic, pandemic or whatsoever, you shouldn't go there. So this is the hadith. I hope you understand that if there's a plague in your land, don't leave your country. And if you are scheduled to fly somewhere, scheduled to go to some other country, whether your seat is booked, your flight is booked, everything, you have purchased the ticket. When you come to know that the land you are going, there is a plague, you should go there. You should cancel your ticket. If you are not, even you though you are not, I would say, even you are not getting the refund, but we get the refund, few percentage we get, right? So don't go there. Why? Because this is Prophet Sallallahu is telling us. This is the hadith. So we should have to follow the Quran and Sunnah. Then Umar, so the same thing was told to Umar radiallahu anhu, that don't go there. In Sham there is a plague. And who told him? Abdul Rahman bin Auf told him that this is the hadith I learned Prophet Sallallahu. So Umar radiallahu anhu then thanked Allah and went back. He didn't go to Sham, Syria. This hadith is also reported in Sahihain. Sahihain means two book of hadith, Sahih Muslim and Sahih Bukhari, which is called Muttafaq alayh. Okay. So abandoning jihad does not alter destiny. Allah said, "Waqatilu fi sabilillahi." Now there is another ayah 244. After this, we'll conclude, inshallah. Okay. Waqatilu wa and qatilu, you all fight. Fi in sabili, path, way, cause, Allahi of Allah. Fi sabilillahi, in path, way, cause of Allah. Wa'alamu, wa and alamu, you all know. Wa'alamu, and you all know. Anna, indeed, Allah, Samiun is always all hearer. Alimun, and always all knower. Samiun Alim is the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, sifat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Running translation. And fight in the way of Allah, and know that Allah is all hearer, all knower. Whatever we do, Allah hears it. Whatever we do, Allah knows it. Whether we hide, we can hide from the people, but we cannot hide from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. This ayah indicates that just as caution does not alter destiny, this ayah indicates that just as caution does not alter destiny, abandoning jihad will neither bring the appointed term closer or not delay. Rather, destiny and the appointed provisions are fixed and shall never be changed or altered, neither by addition or deletion. Similarly, Allah said, Allazina qalu Allazina qalu li ikhwanihim waqadu law ata'una ma qutilu qul fadra'u an anfusikumul mauta in kuntum sadiqin. They are the ones who said about their killed brethren while they themselves sat at home, if only they had listened to us, they would not have been killed. Say, avert that from your own selves if you speak the truth. This is the ayah Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has revealed that, many times it happens that people went with Prophet ﷺ to the battles of Badr, battle of Uhud, battle of Trench, many battles were fought in the time of Prophet ﷺ. And when, these hypocrites, when people used to die and they used to come back, they said, if you would have listened to us, you wouldn't have been killed. We told you not to go, because hypocrites, they never wanted to go, right? So on face they were Muslim, and from the heart they were not Muslim, they were hypocrites. So when they saw the people, when people used to come back from the battle, Muslims used to come back from the battle, and they come to know that so many died. So they used to say, oh, we told you before. And they used to tell the people also not to go. We told you, if you would have listened to us, you wouldn't have been killed. So Allah says that you avert death from yourself if you speak the truth. You even cannot avert death from yourself. If your time is, the appointed time is killed, you will die. Whether you sit at home, whether you go to the battle in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fi sabilillah, in the cause of Allah, you are going to die. Whether you sit at home, whether or you go to the battlefield, you will die at your time, at your appointed time. The death will come to you, no matter wherever you are. Okay. Uh, okay. Now, okay. وقالوا ربنا لما كتبت علينا القتال لولا أخرتنا إلى أجل قريب. They say, our Lord, why have you ordained for us fighting? Would that you had granted us respite for a short period. Say short is the enjoyment of this world, because now it was an incident. They were telling that, oh Allah, make us fight with the enemies. So when Allah ordained fighting, so they said, would that you had been granted us respite for a short period. So Allah says, short is the enjoyment of this world. The hereafter is far better for him who fears Allah, and you shall not be dealt with unjustly, even equal to the fatila, a scalish thread in the long slit of a date stone. So they said, oh Allah, you should have given us respite. Why battle now? Why you have ordained us to fight? You should have given us a short, after respite for a short period. So Allah says that this world for which you are not going to, for the sake of this world, you want the respite, you are not going for the war, but the short is the enjoyment of this world. And if you die in the battlefield, and if you fear Allah, it is better for who fears Allah, because those who die, those who are shaheed, everybody knows the rank of the shaheeds. He's shown the heaven before dying, and he's bestowed with 70 huri ain, and at a time will come at the day of resurrection that Allah will allow him to ask for the forgiveness of 70 people, 70% from his family. Okay. So there's a great reward for the shaheed. So Allah says the hereafter is far better for him who fears Allah, and you shall not be dealt with unjustly, even equal to the fatila, a scalish thread in the long. What is the fatila? A scalish thread in the long slit of a date stone. So see, وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. If we do good, equal to the weight of atom, equal to the weight of dot, equal to the weight of mustard seed, we'll get the reward. And if we do bad, شَرًّا يَرَهُ, equal to the weight of the dot, equal to the weight of atom. Now the scholars and the scientists say that is atom. The dot is atom, right? Equal to the weight of atom, equal to the weight of mustard seed. You will get punishment if the servant of Allah has done bad. So Allah says that and you shall not be dealt with unjustly, even equal to the fatila, a scalish thread in the long slit of a date stone. Now what is a fatila? A scalish thread, you see fatil, a scalish thread. You see the thread? See the thread? So if you have done goodness equal to the fatila, you will get the reward. If somebody has done bad thing equal to the fatila, they will be punished. And naqir is just the dot. See? So Allah is just. The angels are writing and everything is counted. Nothing more, we won't get or less. Equal to our deeds, bad or good, we'll get the reward. And see the qitmir is this. Okay, so here Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the tafsir says that you will get the reward equal to the fatil. So fatil is this. See? Fatil. Okay. And naqir is the dot. See on the stone of the date. This is the seed of the date, right? This is all upon the seed of the date. You eat the date, right? Qitmir is like this, okay? And naqir is like this, a dot. And Allah is so just. And fatil is like this. See? So here the example is given that, now see all of the three things, qitmir, fatil, naqir. This is the stone of the date, meaning the seed of the date, right? So you will get وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ خَيْرًا يَرَهُ وَمَنْ يَعْمَلْ مِثْقَالَ ذَرَّةٍ شَرًّا يَرَهُ. So Allah is just, okay? And you shall not dealt with unjustly, even equal to the fatila, a scalish thread in the long slit of a date stone. So we'll get the reward equal to this, if it is good or bad, accordingly, okay? Fatil. This is fatil. Okay. I hope you would have taken the screenshot. Otherwise, I'll send you on your WhatsApp. Okay. Whosoever you may be, death will overtake you, even if you are in fortress built up strong and high. Like these people, when the plague was there in their land, in their village in Iraq, they flee from there, they escape from there out of the fear of death, that they will die out of the plague. And what happened? While they were on the way, Allah gave them death, they died. And some of the prophet, passed from there, and he made the dua that so Allah resurrect them, and Allah showed them this was the proof that nothing is difficult for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that will reach you at your appointed time, whether you flee from some land or you overtake yourself in a fortress built up strong and high. You hide yourself anywhere, in a fortress, in some hiding place you have built for yourself, but that will overtake you. It's a time, that is a fixed time. It won't be ahead or it won't be behind. It will come on this time which Allah has set, right? So let's give the examples that will overtake you, no matter if you are hidden yourself in a fortress which is built strong and high. The angels of death will come to you, it will reach you. Abu Sulaiman Khalid bin al-Walid, the commander of the Muslim armies, the veteran among Muslim soldiers. Khalid bin Walid was the veteran amongst Muslim soldiers. Before he didn't embrace Islam, he used to fight against the Muslims, against Prophet ﷺ. Then he became a Muslim. So he was a great strength for the Muslim Ummah. So he was a veteran among Muslim soldiers. He was the protector of the Islam and the sword of Allah that was raised above his enemies. So he said, and Prophet ﷺ gave him the title Sword of Allah, Saifullah. The title of Khalid bin Walid was the Sword of Allah, Saifullah. So he said that what he said while dying, that I have, what Khalid bin Walid says, that I see within quote unquote inverted commas, I have participated in so and so number of battles. There is not a part of my body but suffered a shot of an arrow, a stab of a spear, or a strike of a sword. Yet here I am, I die on my bed, just as the camel dies. May the eyes of the powers never taste sleep. He, may Allah be pleased with him, was sorry and in pain because he did not die as a martyr in the battle. He was sad that he had to die in his bed. So this is your destiny. If shahadat, in the battlefield is written, you will die there, we will die there. If it is written on bed, we'll die. So, now while he was dying, so he fought many battles, for the Muslim in fi sabilillah with Prophet ﷺ. So what is he telling? He fought so many battles, that he said that I have suffered a shot of an arrow, a stab of a spear, a strike of a sword. There were so many bruises, on his body. Still, after fighting, in spite of fighting so many battles, he was not a martyr. He died on his bed. So he said, I am sad. So it means that he's telling us that never be scared to fight in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Never be scared of going to the battlefield, because this ayat is about those people who were scared of their death. When the epidemic broke, they fled, they escaped the land, and death reached them. So which is why he's telling, never be scared of going to the battlefield. See, I am dying on my bed. I'm not a martyr. I'm not a shaheed. So we shouldn't be scared of the death, okay? And we shouldn't be away from doing the work fi sabilillah, okay? Any task, okay? Even for our men, even the battlefield, okay? So you see, qitmir, fatil, and naqir. So Allah will give you the goodness you have done. The slave of Allah has done something wrong, something good, equal to an atom, equal to the mustard seed, equal to the fatil, equal to the qitmir, equal to the naqir. So fatil is this one, okay? On the seed of the date palm, this is the seed of the date, and naqir is the dot on the seed of the date, the stone of the date, and qitmir is this thing, okay? Okay. So I think you have taken the screenshot also of this, inshallah. Okay. Okay, here we will conclude, inshallah. And I would love to take, okay, we'll do one ayah. It's very short. It's very short. Very short, inshallah. Okay. Man who, Zallazi, the is that, Allazi who, yuqridu, he will loan, land, Allah, qardan, a loan, hasanan, a goodly, fayuda, ifahu, so that he doubles, multiplies in twos, lahu, for him, adafan, as cumulative, doubling, multiplying in twos, kasiratun, many, Wallahu, and Allah yaqbidu, he withholds, seizes, wayabsutu, and he spares, like you will be returned, you all are will be returned. Okay. When we translate very important ayat, the good loan and its reward. Allah said, who is he that will lend to Allah a goodly loan so that he may multiply it to him many times? My question is, does Allah is in need of our loan? No, Allah is not in need of a loan, but this is for our benefit. Allah will multiply it and give the reward. In this ayah, Allah encourages his servants to spend in his cause. Allah mentioned this same ayah in several other parts of the glorious Quran. The hadith that mentions that Allah descends every night down to the on the nearest heaven to us with the last third of the night remains is that Allah says, "Man yaqridu ghayra adimin wala zulum," who would give a loan to he who is neither poor nor unjust. Allah is not poor, Allah is not unjust. Allah says, who will give me the loan? Why? This is for our own benefit. Allah's statement, Fayuda ifuhu lahu adafan kathira. If you give me the loan, if you give in fi sabilillah, he may multiply it to him many times. Is similar to his statement. How many times? 10. مثل الذين ينفقون أموالهم في سبيل الله كمثل حبة أنبتت سبع سنابل في كل سنبلة مئة حبة والله يضاعف لمن يشاء. The likeness of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is as the likeness of a grain of corn. It grows 7 years and each year has 100 grains. Allah gives manifold increase to whom He wills. If you spend in the way of Allah, Allah gives manifold reward. He will mention this ayah. Okay. Now, what is this ayah? Reward for every good deed is manifold. The example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of grain. See, now imagine there's a seed of grain which grows 7 spikes. In each spike is 100 grains, and Allah multiples his reward for whom He wills, and Allah is all encompassing and knowing. So we see the reward is for every good deed is tenfold. So now see, you see the example of those who spend their wealth in the way of Allah is like a seed of a grain. Just imagine you have a seed of grain now which grows in 7 spikes. You see the 7 spikes like that. You see these are 5, but behind there are 2. So these are 7 spikes. Okay, in each spikes is 100 grain. You see the grains. So this is how when you give loan, when you spend in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, fi sabilillah, it grows. And Allah multiplies his rewards for whom he wills. So it multiplies like this. Like if you have a grain, seed of grain, and you're giving the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, so Allah, it will grow in 7 spikes. You see the 7 spikes here? And in each spikes is 100 grains. You see the grain, the little grain. So in each spike is 100 grain. So, and Allah multiplies his reward for him. So 100 multiplied by 7, spikes, it means 700. So Allah, this way Allah multiplies his rewards for him. He wills, and is all encompassing and knowing. So the reward for every good deed is tenfold. You are getting tenfold reward, right? Like 1 grain and grows into 7 spikes, and each spikes is 100 grain. So 7 multiplied by 100, 700, meaning the reward for every good is 10. So spent in the way of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And with this hadith we hand, Abu Hurairah radiallahu anhu narrated, Qala Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, Anfiq ya ibn Adam, unfiq alayka. This is from Bukhari and Muslim, both the hadith book. So see the last line, Qala Allah, Anfiq ya ibn Adam, Unfiq alayka. The same this. Anfiq ya ibn Adam, unfiq alayka. This last line here. Abu Huraira narrated that Prophet said, Allah said, O son of Adam, spend, I shall spend on you. If you spend, Allah will barakah. You will not be a loser, you will get more and more. So here we conclude, inshallah. I'd love to take your reflection. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan kasiran. Wa barakallahu fikum. Barakallahu fi ilmik wa amalik wa rizqukum wa awqatukum wa ahlukum wa malukum. Ameen ya Rabbal Alameen. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. O our Lord, accept this from us. Indeed, you are the hearing, the knowing. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika. نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك. آمين يا رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Okay, who will be the first one? Inshallah, who will be the first one?
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Assalamu alaikum.